Thanks indeed, Padmaja. Yes, the big story, viewers, we're sticking with our exposés on the truth behind the Gyanvapi dispute. Viewers, on May 26, the district court in Varanasi will be hearing pleas by the Muslim side challenging the survey of the Gyanvapi complex and, most importantly, seeking a setting aside of any attempt to lay claim to the Gyanvapi Mosque complex. But viewers, while the court hears the matter, Times Now has accessed documents that prove that there is a motivated design to bury the truth and deny Hindus of their rights, viewers. Rights that are guaranteed by the Constitution. What are we talking about, viewers? If last evening Times Now unearthed an affidavit dating back to 1936 stating that Gyanvapi is not a mosque, then today, viewers, we have accessed a Gazette notification filed by the Congress government in Uttar Pradesh in 1965 that admits that the Vishwanath temple, the Kashi Vishwanath temple that held one of the 12 Jyotirlings, was demolished by Aurangzeb. Viewers, this is the document I am talking to you about. This document that you can now see right here on my desk. This particular document, viewers, makes it extremely clear to all of us, to each one of us, what the Congress itself attested to. It said on April 9th, 1669, Aurangzeb issued order to the provincial governor for the demolition of Hindu temples and schools, which the Faujdar of Varanasi carried out by pulling down a number of temples in the city, including those of Vishwanath and Bindhu Madhava. Very important. A mosque was built on the site of each two high minarets, being built on one. Aurangzeb also renamed the city Muhammadabad, and coins issued from the mint here also bear his name. Now, viewers, this is very, very important. What are we seeing? We are seeing crazy attempts right now, viewers, to denigrate. And I use the word crazy because they are nonsensical. To denigrate Hindu symbols in the way of proving one point, that there was never any temple, any sign of a Hindu claim to the Gyanvapi Mosque or the land on which it was built. And therefore, viewers, we are going to have a protracted court battle. They're even opposing the survey. But this document, this Gazette notification, issued by the Sucheta Kriplani government in the 60s in Uttar Pradesh, tells you, viewers, that a whole deliberate design is being played out to deny Hindus their claim, and that, quite frankly, even a survey is not needed. If this was a Congress Gazette notification, then, viewers, let me point out to you another document. The second excerpt is even more important. This focuses on an affidavit that was filed, viewers, in 1935 by the British state itself. And what did it say, viewers? It goes on at great length to tell you a large number of facts. It tells you, viewers, over a period of many years, an ascertainment was done. This particular case was brought by Deen Muhammad, Muhammad Hussain and Muhammad Zakaria. What do they want? They wanted this particular contested land, this disputed land, to be declared a Waqf property. Now, viewers, why in 1936 would these individuals want to have this particular land consecrated as a Waqf property? After all, mosques are always built on waqf property, on consecrated land. Because in Islam, a mosque that is built on falsely occupied land does not have sanctity. It cannot be a place of prayer. It can only be a structure. I'm not saying it. This particular affidavit says it. These are the written statements. Deen Muhammad and others versus Secretary of State for India in Council. Viewers, defendants here, the plaintiffs, filed in the court of the subordinate judge, Banaras Civil Suit 62 of 1936. Please go and check. What is it says? It says it is denied that the said plot was ever in possession of the plaintiffs or any other Muslim. And viewers, it talks about the entire plot of land on which the mosque, Pakka courtyard, stray grave, staircase in front of gate, together with Pakka enclosures all around and a peepal tree stand belong to government and has never been dedicated, nor could have been dedicated to the mosque. Very significant. This is all very significant. This document goes on to say it is submitted that non-Muslims have been using the land for their religious purpose as a matter of right and have got a right of way over it. The allegation that they were permitted by persons in charge of the mosque is unfounded and baseless. The land in question was never stamped with the character of waqf land. It was never, viewers, a mosque to begin with. Aurangzeb himself was not the owner of the site in which the old temple of Vishwanath existed and which was demolished by Aurangzeb owing to religious antipathy. Hence, it could not have been dedicated according to the true spirit of the Muhammadan faith. Viewers, this tells you there is something very wrong, that there is an elaborate attempt to block the truth and mock Hindus. Why, viewers? That's the fundamental question. Why? Why? Are we going to now see this entire matter like it was in the Ayodhya Ram Janam Bhoomi issue being strung through India's tardy judicial process? And do Hindus have to wait to rightfully claim what has been accepted on record, not once, twice, and maybe in more iterations, viewers, by not just the British, but also Congress governments? Why today is the Congress party, the MIM, the Samajwadi party, all the new rulers, and of course, the new generations of Congress people denying this? Why? Is there some orchestrated conspiracy? I want to open this up and I want to begin with Mr. Tehseen Poonawala, Tanveer Ahmed. Let me get them into the picture. Abbas Haider, Mohandas Pai and Sanju Verma are there also on the debate. Tehseen Poonawala, I am now quoting straight out of a Congress Gazette notification. Congress Gazette notification, I use the word Congress with deliberation because it's a Congress government in the 60s that filed this particular Gazette notification. Why today, after admitting that this was an act of deliberate desecration by Aurangzeb, are we today denying all these facts?
So good evening, Rahul. Thank you so much for having me on this show. And thank you for this Gazette notification that you've quoted, and rightly so called it the Congress Gazette notification. This proves one thing for sure, that the Congress isn't anti-Hindu, as is a perception that's always obviously attempted to be made by the BJP in particular. So we now know the Congress is not anti-Hindu. What we need to go to is just one single thing. What is the Lakshman Lekha drawn? The 1991 POW Act says very specifically that, listen, except for the Ram Janmabhoomi Babri Masjid dispute, all other acts, there will be status quo of the issue as that existed on 15th August 1947. Now you may quote from a Gazette of 60s, but after that came an act that the Supreme Court in its wisdom, in its written judgment, has said that it's the basic structure of a constitution. I end with one submission to you, Rahul, today. Sanju Verma is the BJP spokesperson here. Please ask her, for everything wrong that the Congress has done, 6 years of Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, 8 years of Narendra Modi ji, change the POW Act right now. Let it change the act, amend it, and take over what you want to take over. Why aren't you doing it? You know why they aren't doing it? Because once they amend this act, I'll just take one line more. Once they amend this act, there'll be thousands of claims. So they're deliberately sparking kerosene and trying to create a situation in a country where there is smoke. They don't realize how bad they're making the situation because they have nothing to talk on the economy.
Mr. Poonawala, you stretch the envelope from one end to the other, from the economy to Astha. But okay, I want to come back to you on one particular small point. Yes, of course, the act can be repealed. Of course it can happen. But then we know that a party that talks about democracy all the while and about the death of it in India, in Cambridge, in the UK, etc., without actually practicing any democracy within its own ranks, that's a separate matter altogether. Viewers will then charge forth and say, murder. Murder is being committed because Mr. Modi is a majoritarian-minded politician.
Perhaps. Let me accept your point.
So one second. So let me
hypothetically ask.
So let me just say.
Okay. Sure.
Till 1992, and this is a fact, Hindus were allowed to worship at the Gyanvapi Mosque complex. You know this, it's an established fact. Daily prayers were offered. The Congress comes in with this 1991 Act. Its state governments that are close to it decide that, look, we are going to deny the Hindus this practice. Suddenly, arbitrarily, they are told after 1992 you can't pray. Once a year you can go there on the holiest day of the year. All you need to do is to prevail upon the Muslim committee to stop. And the matter will go. All the Hindus are wanting, they're not wanting to build a masjid, a mandir there, sir. They're not wanting to bring it down. They're only wanting the right to pray. What is it about Hindus that bothers Tehseen Poonawala and the Congress party so much, especially a party that is going to be led by a Shiv Bhakt?
Nothing about Hindus. You're a Hindu, and I have a lot of respect and love for you. Nothing about Hindus bothers me. My wife is a Hindu, and I spend my life with her. So nothing about Hindus bothers me or the Congress. But what I can tell you is, even if I were to assume both of your points, point number one, is Mr. Modi, the most powerful prime minister in the world, so scared of Rahul Gandhi?
I'm only talking about, let's not get rhetorical.
No, I'm not getting rhetorical.
Here are the facts. I'm only asking, why does the Congress party oppose the Hindu claim over the Gyanvapi Mosque complex after conceding to it? It's a very simple question. And I have several Congress leaders who are saying that this is wrong.
Okay,
why?
I'm going to give you two simple answers. Number one, why doesn't the Adityanath government, since state governments can allow for puja, why is it stopped? Why this 5 years? So was Adityanath anti-Hindu? Number two, let's assume Rahul Gandhi is anti-Modi ji. Why is Modi ji so scared of Rahul Gandhi from passing a law in Parliament and changing
What is this guy talking?
Let me try to get the answer out of Tehseen Poonawala by asking him two more questions.
Okay.
Sir, from which constituency is Rahul Gandhi an MP from?
Wayanad in Kerala.
What is the population of Muslims in Wayanad?
Majority are Hindus.
Rahul, why are we talking
Majority
about...
No, 1 second, Tanveer Ahmed, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why the Shiv Bhakt in Rahul Gandhi cannot appreciate the point of view of Shiv Bhakts.
You want to have an anti-Congress...
And let me tell you, I'll come to the JDS also, don't worry. I'll come to you, you'll have your turn. Tanveer Saab, why are you shouting over me? I never asked you the question. Why are you answering for Tehseen? Tehseen Poonawala is intelligent enough. He's a very bright man. He has been handpicked to be part of this debate. We have not just invited any old, Joe Blow. This is Tehseen Poonawala. Tehseen Poonawala, who represents very articulately the Congress party position every night. Let him, he speaks for himself. He's an adult. You don't have to tutor him. You don't have to fight his battles. He picks his battles. He's like Arjun and he fights them. Now, Tehseen Poonawala, my simple question to you is this. Is it appeasement that is holding a Shiv Bhakt back from not recognizing all these facts that the Congress party and its governments have attested to?
May I ask you a counter question?
Yeah,
Is
please.
the fear of Rahul Gandhi put Mr. Modi in a position that he cannot change the law of POW 1991? Is the fear of Rahul Gandhi that Adityanath ji cannot give more permission? Let's put our money where our mouth is, Rahul Gandhi,
Right.
on your shows and your debates. You
Okay.
have often said that the Congress and Rahul Gandhi are fast heading towards irrelevance. If they are, why is Mr. Modi, the most powerful prime minister in the world, so scared to change the act? You know why he can't do it? He can't do it because it's a basic structure of our constitution.
Okay.
And Mr. Modi knows it, the lawyers know it, and you know it.
Okay. Sanju Verma, go ahead. I never knew that Parliament, whether it makes a law which is in tune with the basic structure, can't impugn the same law. Of course it can. Of course it can. And let me tell you, viewers, one particular government to appease Muslims did it. The Rajiv Gandhi government.
Exactly. Rahul, first and foremost, I have a little bit of grouse. I think Tehseen today has been showered with so much of terms of the applause. Some of us on the panel are feeling a tad left out. Coming to the more serious issue, first and foremost, I just want to make this very straight. I think it was on your debate, Rahul, for the very first time, I was the one, and I'm not being a credit GV here, but facts need to be told. I have said that there is the 1936 Deen Muhammad judgment, whereby he said everything within the Gyanvapi complex, the basement, the grave, the masjid, the other temple structure, etc., is Waqf property, and hence Hindus cannot go there to pray. 1937, there was a judgment by the Secretary of State telling Deen Muhammad everything is not registered under Waqf and pray. So the first point is the Places of Worship Act 1991. What is the cutoff date? The cutoff date is 15th August 1947. Now this dispute pertaining to Gyanvapi is from 1937, maybe earlier. So by that logic alone, by virtue of that argument, Places of Worship Act 1991 does not apply here, but the Honorable Court will take a call on that. Also by another argument, if Aurangzeb indeed, as we all know, it's in the public domain, if he destroyed Kashi Vishwanath Mandir beat in 1664 or 1669 and built the Gyanvapi, this is a dispute which is either 353 or 358 years old. By that logic again, Places of Worship Act 1991 does not apply. Now the most important argument. When the farm laws were repealed, this entire cabal, I'm not going into the merits and demerits of the farm laws. We've had umpteen debates ad nauseum on that. The same brigade, as Rahul Shiv Shankar calls them, the Lutyens Lashkar Brigade, I call them the Hafs Lobby, they clapped in glee, saying, fuck the Modi government to succumb to us, and it had to repeal the farm laws. Farm laws repeal ho sakte hain, Places of Worship Act kyun nahi repeal ho sakta? And by the way, when C.V. Narasimha Rao bulldozed this law and made it into an act, you know what were the powers he used? He used the residual powers available to the central government under entry 97. It is rarely used. Very rarely has any central government used entry 97 list 2 of the concurrent list and used its residual powers, because pilgrimages, places of worship come under state subject. So point number 3 is that C.V. Narasimha Rao was never too democratic, but that's besides the argument. The most important argument is this: forget legalese, forget technicalities. Do we all admit Jesus was born in Bethlehem? Of course. Do we dispute that? No.
Okay. Okay, so just answer me, because Tehseen has raised this question. Fair enough.
Do we dispute that? Why
No one does, and that's one of the reasons why the Hindu claim was upheld in Ayodhya.
Rahul, 10 seconds. Rahul, please, give me 10 seconds. Indulge me for 10 seconds. Why is it that when it comes to Krishna Janmabhoomi, why is it that when it comes to Ram Janmabhoomi, why is it that when it comes to Baba Bholenath, place of worship, we Hindus have to time and again continue to prove that
No, so there are two answers to this, and let me no, hang on, Sanju Verma. Okay, fair enough. You are very concerned about this, and you are saying that obviously this points to some deeper conspiracy, etc., etc. I'll get the response to that, but the simple question I want to ask you is, you can also end the wait and the suffering. Repeal the act. Repeal the act, let Mr. Yogi Adityanath get in there and say, look, the old orders that were passed, I think by, and I have to correct this, viewers, I think by Samajwadi Party government in 1992 will be overturned. So I'm just going to get that checked. But I just want to ask you this question. Yogi Adityanath, who believes in upholding the principles of all Astha, etc., why didn't he just do it?
Yeah, so Rahul, you know, I don't want to be drawn into a debate which could sort of rake up a controversy. You asked me a couple of days back. I told you Places of Worship Act has to go. Now, will the Modi government bite the bullet, or will respective state governments in Assam or Uttar Pradesh or Madhya Pradesh bite the bullet? I'm sure they will. I will just leave it by saying the very lot which challenge Article 370 will not be abrogated. Article 35A will not be abrogated. Have a big, nice, fat omelette on their faces. So don't challenge the Modi government. When it will do what needs to be done is the prerogative and state government. Let us not second guess them. But let us not give a long rope to the Muslim side, which has tried testing the resilience and patience of Hindus by bringing up various kinds
Okay,
of...
so viewers, just a very quick background. Kalyan Singh was preceded by Mulayam Singh in Uttar Pradesh. Kalyan Singh, of course, was Chief Minister till 1992 December. Right after, you had an imposition where Hindus were not allowed to offer prayers at the Gyanvapi Mosque complex. At that time, Uttar Pradesh was under President's rule. And of course, from 1991 to 1996, viewers, it was a Congress government, P.V. Narasimha Rao government. So those are the facts. Now, one of the reasons why, of course, this act cannot be repealed straight out of hand is because right now the matter is sub judice. It is before the Supreme Court. Some people say that it can't be done while it is being heard by the Supreme Court. Others say that it can be done. That a lawyer will clarify. But I want to bring in Mohandas Pai, Abbas Haider and Tanveer Ahmed. Tanveer Ahmed, you were making some direct allegations and points. The Congress leadership, other opposition party leadership, the JDS, the MIM has repeatedly accused BJP of playing a parochial Hindutva politics to criminalize and disenfranchise Muslims. This is what you have been saying, even on the back of the agitation which is now growing for claims in Karnataka. Okay, fair enough, they're doing all of this. But the petitioners are filing pleas not on behalf of Modi or the BJP. These are not people who are in any way card-carrying members till a last check, especially in the Gyanvapi Mosque issue of the BJP. They are fighting for the rights of Hindus which devolve upon this community under various articles of the Constitution. Why not allow them? When the facts are so plainly obvious, when the truth is staring at us in our face. Here is the truth.
Rahul, are we going to really decide what is going to be the outcome of this entire issue by sitting in your studio and people like Sanju Verma are going to dictate terms in this country? We have elders of the community, we have law, we have constitution. We definitely need to really find out a way to really have an amicable solution. This is not the kind of language. What is the kind of language Sanju Verma is saying? 370 is done, 35 is done, we will do this. You will never do this, ma'am. You will never do this. Because you will never do this. Why? Because you need to really cover your mistakes by, for dollar price. You are failed. By understanding aspirations of the youth, you have failed. Unemployment, you have failed. By taking care of this country, you have failed. You have compromised the borders at China, Pakistan, you have failed. And you need an issue to really hide your negativities. You need an issue to hide your negativities. You would not talk to
No, one second. Let's just separate the issue. Let's not speak over each other. Tanveer Ahmed, I just want to ask you, please explain to me. Okay, Tanveer Ahmed, 1 second. Just explain to me. I'm not understanding what you're saying. I'm a bit confused. Can you explain to me how the BJP has any stake in this Gyanvapi mosque dispute. Can you explain? What is the exact immediate stake they have? Can you just explain to me?
I can certainly explain. People like Sanju Verma and likes of her who want to really get recognized as leaders are using this issue to communalize and put fuel into it and
no, Tanveer Saab, 1 minute, just 1 second, Sanju Verma, please.
As happened in 1992.
No, Tanveer Saab, I just want to ask you.
They want to have clashes. They want to see
let's just go back.
That's exactly what they want to do.
Look, you're a respectable spokesperson. And look, you know, we all respect your judgment and opinion. But let me just point out a few facts to you. The 1991 Act was brought about without any consultation. All you in the opposition today accuse the Modi government of ramrodding the 3 farm laws, saying that was undemocratic. Well, this act that was brought without any consultation. The opposition in the form of the BJP staged a walkout. A discussion was done very cursorily. It was not even referred to a select committee. There are, according to some legal experts, some infirmities. Number one. So the BJP has no role in, first of all, creating this mess. Let me be honest about this entire issue, okay, if you want the facts. Number two, if you're interested again in the facts, the Hindus, sir, please listen to me. The Hindus were barred from offering prayers when they had been doing so from time immemorial. There are Congress governments that have filed an affidavit to say that the Kashi Vishwanath temple student was raised by Aurangzeb. The British, who have no love for either Hindus or Muslims, you would agree with me, have come out and said this was not even a mosque to begin with. So you have no special claim over this issue. So I'm only asking, you're giving the BJP fodder, if as you claim they're trying to make political capital out of it. Don't give them the capital. Just say, okay, let the Hindus worship. Let's have that. But you have taken this matter to court, or at least the committee has. Why?
Rahul, who is going to decide this? Muslim community do have certain elders. We need to really talk to those elders and need to engage, because we don't want any
engage, sir. The time for engagement is over. Tomorrow the video evidence of the surveys are going to be presented. Will you even accept the video evidence that has been captured in the survey, or will you reject that also?
Actually, people within the survey committee are doubting the people who have gone there. You might have read the newspaper.
The court has no problem.
People are accusing
the court has no problem
with the people who have gone there.
1 minute, sir.
Who have, absolutely.
The court has acted by removing one person, but they have not in any way said that the person cannot submit the evidence. So the reports are going to be submitted tomorrow. The videotapes will be submitted tomorrow. The videotapes will show you, viewers, and Mohandas Pai, correct me if I'm wrong, they will show you Hindu motifs are very much part of the superstructure of the Gyanvapi mosque. It's Char Diwari, as they say, the 4 walls. 2 of those walls are built on the temple, and you can see the architecture. Hindu architecture. So Mohandas Pai, this is what is going to be shown, which is visible to the naked eye. Now I want to know, do you think the Muslims will accept it, or do you think they'll reject it? We have Tanveer Ahmed saying that we are very peace-loving, we don't want to have bad blood. So I'm asking you, Mohandas Pai, what is your hunch? Will the elders tomorrow accept it?
First, let us go back to basics. The fact remains that the land belongs to the temple and it has been destroyed by Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb himself claims it, so I don't think anybody in this debate can overrule Aurangzeb's claim that he destroyed it, because he has claimed it. We can't let the leftist historians write fake narrative that he was secular. He was not secular. He was a religious bigot. He was a jihadi in his own words. Second, the Hindus have gone to the court to say they have been worshipping in that particular place right from a long period of time, even before 1947. Till 1992, and therefore the rights to worship should be continued. Now, the question is not whether it's a mosque or anything else. All they're saying is, we have been worshipping there for a long period of time, right up to 1992, You have illegally stopped us from entering and worshipping. Give us the right to worship and restore status quo ante.
Mr. Pai, you've gone on mute.
In case the courts are not able to decide, then the UP government should make sure that the 1992 bar is removed and status quo ante is restored.
I agree with you.
In the event that does not happen, the 1991 law should be amended to give justice to the Hindu community on one of their most sacred sites. Now, under Islamic law too, you can't have a mosque on land which belongs to a temple.
Okay.
You cannot build a mosque on land destroyed, where a temple or a church
Point
or
made.
well done. That is what Islamic law says.
And it has been conceded in these documents. It's a
Mohan,
Yes.
why don't
Let
you
the
make
court
an
decide.
attempt to speak to the elders of
So
Muslim
1 minute,
community?
Tanveer Saab, 1 minute, 1 minute.
Mohan,
Many
why
attempts
don't you
have
make
been
an attempt to
made.
speak
Many
to the
attempts
elders
have
of the
been
Muslim
made. I
community?
just want to ask a question of Samajwadi Party spokesperson Abbas Haider Saab. Abbas Haider Saab, please. You have been listening very patiently. I want to ask you a simple question, Abbas Saab. Why are you opposing the Hindu right to pray on a place which is hallowed ground for Hindus? Simple question.
Rahulji, we have never opposed anyone to pray. In fact, I would like to tell you that there have been 4 Bharatiya Janata Party government in Uttar Pradesh. Rajnath Singh ji have been Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. Yogi Adityanath ji has completed a full term as the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. Kalyan Singh ji has been Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. After the permission was, permission to pray 365 days was declined. So, did any of the Bharatiya Janata Party government gave them permission to pray 365 days? My another question to Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson is that initially these 4 ladies, they requested the district administration to grant them permission to pray 365 days, but the district magistrate denied their permission. So, who was the chief minister that time? Yogi Adityanath ji was the chief minister that time. So, why did these
Haider Saab, it's a very direct question. Do you support the case? Haider Saab, I'm only asking you a simple question because your leaders have come out and clearly supported the Ijtema Committee's petitions in the court. So I'm asking you, why are you supporting the committee's petition in court?
We as a political party, I'll answer you in a binary way. We as a political party we are not a party in this case, and you can question the same, you can ask the same question from BJP that why did Deputy Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh pre-UP election tweeted that Kashi Mathura abhi baki hai? What did he mean to say? Why did BJP
but Mr. Haider, I'm saying to you,
what does it mean?
Mr. Haider, I'm saying to you, for a moment, let's suspend belief and say, yes, the BJP is making political capital out of it. I'm only asking you, why are you allowing them to make political capital? Resolve the issue immediately. Call upon the elders. I like the way Tanveer Ahmed is now asking Sanju Verma and Mohandas Pai to speak to the Muslim elders. Do you think they're going to listen to the BJP at all? I'm asking you, Abbas Haider Saab, baith jao.
On this issue, they could have done it amicably. This was before going to the court, they went to the district magistrate.
Let me just rewind. Viewers, let me rewind to 2019, early 2019. Shri Ravi Shankar viewers came out and said, I want to bring the disputing property.
One more thing, Rahulji, I just want to say.
Haider Saab,
if you allow me.
The disputing sides.
By questioning the 1990 legality of the 1991 Act, thus Sanju Verma questioned the intent of the 5 judges of the Supreme Court who have considered this law as a basic structure of the Constitution.
No, they have not. They have not opined on the law. Please.
They have.
They have not opined on the law. Please don't spread fake news. There is 2 judgments which tell you that Supreme Court observations are only binding when the matter in specific. The observations are made in specific to matters that are brought before it for consideration. Now, viewers, let me tell you that none of these matters, including the Ayodhya matter, could have been brought before it for consideration, especially because the law makes an exemption for Ayodhya. So in the Ayodhya title dispute, you could have not had a binding order upholding the sanctity of the 1991 Act on merits. This is a proposition settled in law. Anyone telling you that the Supreme Court has already upheld the matter should ask themselves one basic question. Then why is it hearing a petition challenging the 1991 Act? Is the Supreme Court out of its mind? If it's already ruled to say that the Act is inviolable, that the Act has been upheld and is absolutely sacrosanct, why is it entertaining other petitioners and issuing notices to the centre?
Bench can only find it unconstitutional.
No, listen to me, Abbas Haider. Let's not be silly about this. You are neither a lawyer, and I don't know, sir, but at this moment, you are not even behaving as a very considerate member of Indian society trying to build trust. And that is sad.
Rahul,
that is very sad. Haider Saab, very, very sad. Mohandas Pai wants to come in. Yes.
We are trying to build, sir. We are not being a party in this matter.
I want to make a point.
We have always...
As the Muslim community at any point of time reach out to the Hindus to say, you have been wrong, your temples have been destroyed by Aurangzeb, we will help you restore your rights. They have not. They're not demonstrating goodwill. All of them are always fighting. This is our mosque. Aurangzeb is a great hero. He has done well. They respect Aurangzeb. They come on TV and sing paeans to him. I mean, this is not.
Let me tell you, tomorrow, the survey, videotape, photographs, etc., will be handed over to both sides. And if tomorrow, and Times Now is going to break that story first, we are going to tell you what was discovered in that survey. And if there are Hindu motifs, as we expect them to be, because they're quite visible, viewers, the question will be, will the Muslim side accept it, withdraw their suits, allow the Hindus to do what they have to do, which is worship at this site? Let's see, viewers. This entire matter now hangs by that thread.